man. So
yeah.
But yeah, trolls ain't real. They under the bridge.
Well, maybe Akademiks is real because he's a fucking troll, and he sat down with Charlamagne, and the overall consensus is that Charlamagne bitched him, cooked him, made him look like a little ass boy. And that's not just my observation or your observation. Read the fucking comment. The comments are going to tell you everything. And I've got through a large portion of it, probably like 65 to 70% of it this morning.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing on Akademiks channel, and it made me kind of realize how sharp and brilliant that Charlamagne was. Not that I didn't think that before. And it made me kind of realize that Akademiks is some conspiracy drunken fucking nut, bro. Like, you just coming, like, you getting sued by somebody that's not Roc Nation.
Right.
Right? You trying to say that Roc Nation's paying them to do it.
With no proof.
With no proof.
Yeah.
Everything's happened. Something happens to, Roc Nation did it. Roc Nation did it. You might get into a car accident. Oh, Roc Nation nigga did it. Like, God, you're so fucking paranoid about Roc Nation when reality is you and your homie, George, is being investigated or / sued for botting. I was reading through it this morning, and Charlamagne was talking about it too, and I did my little research on it. And he supposedly this guy that, you know, is an associate or affiliate with you, he said he gets marching orders from you and Drake. So it's ironic, and we don't know if none of this stuff is true, it's all alleged, but it's ironic, and we're going to dig deeper into this conversation. The ironic part about this is that you're sitting up here, right, or Drake, I should say, sitting up here trying to get at Kendrick and talk about this, and, you know, or UMG, and they use bots and shit, and you being accused of the same thing. Again, I don't know how real none of this shit is. I'm sure this is a real occurrence in the industry. People using bots and stream farms or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To you know, make somebody appear bigger than they are, to blow up songs. And this is common knowledge, but it's just kind of funny. And again, through the whole conversation, Charlamagne was giving him belt to ass. Cool, calm, relaxed, composed, giving this young kid, that's what he seemed like. Belt to ass. What's your thoughts on it, though?
It was, again, I'm going to say this. It was Charlamagne reality versus Akademiks and internet perception.
Damn.
For me. Because Charlamagne was speaking in reality. Now, Charlamagne's not the most popular person on the internet. You know what I mean? He likes to get a lot of criticism on the internet, but one cannot deny he's one of the most influential hip-hop media, period, that we've seen in the last 20, 30 years. And again, not the most popular person, but we watched that man's growth. I remember sitting on a school bus listening to him on Power 99 with Wendy Williams.
I thought he was gay back then. I thought it was a girl.
Me
too.
You know what I mean? But to watch him go from there to kind of grow and develop into being where he's at right now, proud of that brother, man. Happy for him. Yeah. And I like the fact that, one, they got to sit down because I was introduced to Akademiks through Charlamagne. I remember the very first starting kind of interviews and stuff. I remember Akademiks and Charlamagne fucking with each other heavy. And it seems like Charlamagne still fucks with Akademiks. Even when it's not popular to fuck with Akademiks, he messes with him still. And hits him up privately, lets him know this may be snakes in your grass, bro. There may be snakes in your corner. And you ever been around, okay, so Akademiks, I kind of seen everything I needed to see from him yesterday.
Yeah.
Everything. He's a very intelligent dude.
Yep.
He's very articulate. He's very good at what he does. But when you isolate yourself and you put yourself in this bubble, and it's a fake-ass bubble, and you have nothing but yes men talking to you and yelling and all this yes, 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 mix that with an abundance of alcohol.
Ooh.
You can make some shit up in your head that ain't really true. And you can say things on the internet thinking that you have immunity, and eventually somebody's going to go, you know what? Fuck that. I don't like that. Nope. You're going to have to hold yourself accountable for what you said. And this is what it almost looks like the chicken is coming home to roost. Do I think that Akademiks is about to lose his channel, his platform? No, not even close. Because the internet is a powerful place, not a real place, but it's powerful, and it'll keep lights on. The business is running for sure, right? So that'll keep his business running. But he looked like a paranoid, alcohol-driven content creator that just is kind of missing the boat on certain things. You talked about how you think you were in this 8-hour deposition without a lawyer about these people suing you, and all you could talk about is Roc Nation, Roc Nation, Roc Nation, Roc Nation, even though there's no tangible proof to that. You want to try to get Charlamagne the God on being hand in hand with Desiree Perez and hand in hand with Rock Nation because he has investments with him. And then he broke down how investments work and how the whole casino worked and how there was 4 major backings in there, and you had to be a subsidiary to one of these backings. He happened to be one of Rock Nation. Charlamagne the God never backpedaled or seemed like he never tried to run away from the truth. Nope. Everything that he said yesterday was public information 2-3 days prior to that, right? Excuse me. So it seemed like all he did was sit back and lay out facts. Look, let's just talk about the facts. Let's just talk about the reality of the situation. Let's talk about this article. Let's talk about that article. And all Akademiks seemingly wanted to do was run around that, put the blame back on Rock Nation, put the blame that Charlemagne works for Rock Nation. Because this is the easiest thing. This is the lowest hanging fruit in the world. You say anything positive about Rock Nation, you question anything that has anything to do with Rock Nation, you automatically work for them niggas. And that ain't the case, but that's the easiest thing to say. And yesterday proved to me, watching, or the last couple of days proved to me, is that people just talking. And there's no tangible proof to anything because Akademiks had 2.5 hours to lay out tangible proof right there. And he couldn't do it. He just ran around it. Now, this whole George thing, I never knew who the fuck George was up until these couple of conversations. Akademiks TV, I clearly know who that was. I didn't know if Akademiks run it or what the case may be. It's very dangerous that he's his name behind it. I talk about it behind it. Why? His name actually behind. I don't know if they talk about it. I finished it. Very. He just definitely got running his page. So we got these out here mouth. Yep. And barely size go pay for. Open it out more. Is very good at certain things that is being looked at as far as a gambling damn near Ponzi scheme that ain't so good. Now, like I said, I know that he gets busy in the casinos. I know that personally. I know that he's into this whole thing. But you got people talking about, you have platforms trying to manipulate content creators into telling people that they're winning things that they're not, scamming people into doing this, something called clipping. I don't even know what clipping the fuck is, but apparently George of Akademiks TV is very good at it. Yeah. And now that's in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, it is. Something being looked at as a potential serious case, and they're not playing about that type of shit. So it seems like Akademiks has got a little too ahead of himself, that box and that little bubble that he lives in. He really started feeling himself in that box too much. And yesterday showed me a cleared vision or clear-minded Akademiks truly don't really know what the fuck's going on. Right. And that's a dangerous thing right now. That's just what I saw.
Yeah, because when we were talking about it maybe a week ago, you was like, maybe he has a legitimate gripe with Rock Nation. And it's really nothing. Yeah. It's really all made up conspiracy shit. Yeah. That if you drinking alcohol and shit, you will probably just go crazy with shit. Like, oh my God, like, yeah. But nothing's really going on. Nobody has no conspiracy against you. And the wildest part about this all to me is that everybody's Rock Nation, but you're 100% Drake. You even came in with the OVO chain on. Mm-hmm. You're pretty much, and then you talking about another part that Charlemagne got him. Like, I'm not gonna let nobody jump my man. And he was talking about like the campaign, so-called campaign against Drake. No, he just got his ass whooped by Kendrick Lamar, and people were giving their opinion. There's no fucking campaign. At all. And he's mad because he was called the P word, but he called my man a abuser of his wife. They was going back and forth. It's a beef. Mm-hmm. So you think you're supposed to sit up here and defend this man? It ain't going to work. Mm-hmm. And it's not, and it hasn't been working. It's not going to work against Jay-Z. It really didn't work against Meek Mill because, again, it's the reality, then there's the internet. And there's two different things. So it's just like you calling the kettle black, nigga, but you black as shit. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make Charlemagne to who you really are. Yep. You admitted that Drake fucking pretty much paying you to go hard body, bro. You mentioned that he did it for 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? And I forgot who else, who he had mentioned he did it for. Mm-hmm. But it's these things that he goes on to keep people relevant, and he already admitted that he's taking money to help, push people. But yo, my thing is let the chips fall where they may. I could say that Drake got his ass whipped, but I can also say that Drake is one of the greatest artists ever. Yep. In the same breath. Yep. But he lost that beef. He beat Meek Mill. He lost to Pusha T. I could say all that shit. But when you talk about another thing Charlamagne said, we got to appreciate the guys that have been here 15, 20, 30 years, and it's still relevant today, bro. Drake is one of them.
Yeah, he is.
Jay-Z is definitely one of them. He's talking about 30 years of relevancy. That ain't easy to do in anything. Nope. Not to mention music. So yeah, man, come on, man. Like it's just crazy.
It also shows me kind of, in my opinion, it shows how pussy some people are. Yeah. And I'm gonna talk about Drake and Akademiks in this situation because Akademiks went from you respected Charlemagne because he didn't give a fuck about who was in front of him. He was gonna tell them how he felt. whether it was met with physicality, whether it was met with criticism, whether it was met with whatever the case may be. He told you when you was on Everyday Struggle that you thought Wale was corny. You got to look at Wale right in his face and tell him he's corny.
Yep.
Because this is what this type of journalism entails. This is why people get respected. And what you did was you were afraid to tell an individual that they lost a beef. You were afraid to tell an individual that they may have lost because you were afraid to lose a relationship because that individual was so fucking sensitive that he couldn't take criticism. And if you, somebody respected in this game, gave their honest opinion on something, you may lose that relationship. So you punked up and you ran so hard, so crazy, and it made you look ridiculous. Listen, you don't gotta like Kendrick Lamar. You could think that Drake's a hotter artist. He makes better music, more popular music. That is your opinion. Nobody's about to kill you for that. But Drake lost that battle, bro.
By a landslide.
Drake lost that battle, bro.
Yeah.
You got the man won Grammys off the beef song, and it's no different because I was in the club heavy during these days when Drake cooked Meek. And that song was in the club in rotation all day. It was a party then. Meek Mill took his lumps. He took a few lumps.
Yeah, he did.
Got back up and kept it fucking moving. That's what you're supposed to do. But see, you wanted to be so cool with your boy, and you knew your boy was so sensitive that if you went, goddamn, Kendrick is cooking this motherfucker right now, that you would lose that relationship. So you went on the whole, and that's what pussies do, man.
Yeah.
It just is, man.
Yeah.
You got to be able to give your honest, raw opinion, even if it may hurt somebody that you care about, because this is the game that you signed up for.
And even me, like, I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan. I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I'm not going to put no Kendrick songs on. If it come on, I'll listen to it.
Right.
But even during that beef, I wasn't really checking for the beef songs.
Right.
But when that shit came out, They Not Like Us, oh my God. That made me want to jump in and shit. Like, I got to listen to all these shits. Well. And I thought the one that Drake had before that was dope. What's the joint he had? He had like 3 songs in one.
Family Matters.
That shit is dope as shit. I still bump that shit to the day. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't that. Mm-hmm. He lost. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is. Sometimes you lose. Said Jay-Z caught an L to Nas with Ether.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just happens. But now they cool. They move past it, man. So
I honestly thought Pusha T cooked Drake on that story of Adonis way harder than because all that was real.
Yeah, you're right.
All that shit was real. The blackface Drake put on blackface.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Yeah, man. But hey.
Yeah.
Kendrick came out with some popular shit, the timing of it. Y'all doing things back to back. He came out with something 30 minutes after you came out with something, then the next day. Hey, man, he won that shit.
That's like, it's like you want to be you want to be the best in boxing or anything, you have to go against the best. Okay. Mm-hmm. You want to be fucking Tank or you want to beat one of these people? You think you're going to beat my man Crawford?
Gotta get in the ring with him.
Get in the ring with these niggas.
Gotta get in the ring with
him. If he knock you the fuck out, he just knock you the fuck out. At least you got in the ring.
Yep.
And I gave Drake his respect for that. At least he got in the ring.
Did it hurt his Iceman sales? Did it hurt his Iceman layout? Not at all.
Huh?
Not at all. I still ain't listened to the album, but that's me. I'm not a fan. Billions of other people did. He's still winning, man, and he deserves it.
Yeah.
So
I'll move on.